guys. I think there were maybe one or two people watching. Um, Once again, I forgot to put the advertising up a little bit earlier, like I should have. Um, but let me just check one more time here. Yeah, it looks like we got we got four viewers now, so that's good. I always worry that I'm going to put these things up too late and not get any viewers, but maybe you guys are getting used to like the Cheese Extreme Wednesday being every week. That's what I was telling Steve. I said that's the consistent one that I do every week, besides doing these watch alongs every Saturday now. So um, I did want to show you what I have picked for next Wednesday. For those of you that are in here, you'll get to see this firsthand. We're going to be covering Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Luther the Geek. I don't know how many of you have seen Luther the Geek, but this is one I remember again from my video rental days. So you can look forward to that next Wednesday. Of course, Saturday, uh, Steve is planning on returning once again. And then he's going to be doing his thing about 6 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday. And then following his stream, I will be doing the Rocktober Blood watch along. So you can look forward to both of those things. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it so much, the Rocktober Blood thing, that I rewatched Rocktober Blood on Shudder last night. Um, I hadn't really, I didn't really rest good last night because one of my other parakeets is, he's either injured himself or he's sick. Neither one is good, but you know, if he has injured his leg or something, he's probably going to fare better than if he's sick. So, needless to say, I didn't get very good sleep because he's been going on for this with this about a week. He can fly just fine, but I think he may have fell in the night and injured his leg. Um, so now the other bird is taking care of him. Oh, well, thank you, X-Ray. Yeah, that's my parakeet, Joe Bob, who was doing just fine until about a week ago. And I heard a bunch of commotion going on in the cage during the middle of the night, and got up and came in the living room. And I don't know if something scared him. They say sometimes the parakeets will get night terrors, or I guess birds in general can. There have been, unfortunately, hey, Dirk, there have been, unfortunately, pet birds that have broken their necks, thrashing about so much in the cage because of night terrors. So I don't, I don't know if it's, I mean, I think it's that. I think he's injured himself, like he's injured his leg. So he is not sitting on the bottom of the cage, but he's sitting on in the lower part of the cage. And the other bird is taking care of him. I have never seen this happen. My other pet parakeet, Kane, who's named after Kane Hodder, um, who I've not had very long because Joe Bob was doing just fine until, like I said, about a week ago. Thank you, TJ. Um, and then this incident happened, and he hasn't been the same since. So him and Kane got really close. You know, they bonded really quickly, which I was glad to see. And now, because Joe Bob can't get to his food and stuff really good, um, Kane comes down there and feeds him. And I've never seen two pet birds do that before. I've heard of daddy birds feeding the mama birds when they're on the nest, but I've never seen this. So they must have really bonded. Um, Jason, you say, "Hey Dan, sorry about your bird. I have little goats and they are always finding new ways to get hurt because they act crazy." Oh, I love goats. But thank you for um, thinking about my birdie. Um, Dirk, you said just finished rewatching Cursed. What a piece of shit. Don't know why I torture myself. LOL. Sometimes I say that about movies too, Dirk. That why am I putting myself through this again? I actually said that when I was rewatching Invasion of the Blood Farmers. But it is a really cheesy movie, and so that's why I wanted to cover it. X-Ray, you say you'd be amazed by some animals' behaviors. Oh, I am, all my animals, I'm continually amazed by the things that they do. They're always surprising me. My dogs and my birds, my lizards, my snake, my guinea pigs, I just have one rat left. I feel sort of bad for him, but he's outlived all of his brothers and sisters, and of course his mommy and his daddy and uncle, or whatever you want to call him. He's my very last rat I have, and I told Steve, I said, I'm not going to get any more rats because I love them. They're very intelligent creatures, and so the babies that I had 2 litters of babies in too close succession, and I didn't get to work with them. So they were kind of biters. They didn't learn to be very social. But I still loved them. But I had Ben, a white rat, that I have never seen. I've seen loving rats, but I've never seen one as loving as he was. And I almost didn't get him. I actually went to the pet shop and got 2 others. But I kind of fell in love with Ben, although his name wasn't Ben then. I named him Ben after the movie. Um, but I actually came and got 2 other rats. But I couldn't stop thinking about the one white one that they let me take out, and he was sitting on my chest and all that. And so I told Steve, I said, I just can't leave him there. I've got to go back and see if he's still there. And if he's still there, he's meant to be mine. So Steve took me back to the same pet shop. Sure enough, Ben was there. And I told him I wanted him, and they put him in a little carrier, and I took him home. And he was one of the best rats I've ever had. And I've had, a lot of rats. So I was, it's hurt every time one of my rats died, but when he passed away, I really formed some kind of bond with him because he would give you little kisses. I know people think rats are just gross, but they're really not. They're really very clean animals. I mean, especially if you're keeping them as pets. But I'm sorry to get off on all that. I see Red's ready to start this stuff. X-Ray said it's funny how far Wes Craven came from doing Last House on the Left in the early 70s to bad Christina Ricci werewolf movies in 2004. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that, though, with all of the, big names to me. George Romero did some stinkers. John Carpenter's done some stinkers. Sam Raimi's done some stinkers, I wasn't a fan of Drag Me to Hell, and some people were, but I wasn't. Um, Ray, you said, when does the chat start and what's on the menu? Well, actually, I mean, the chat starts when this starts, but I got off talking about my parakeet, and so then we got to talking about animals. And X-Ray, you say you think Carpenter knew when to quit. Yeah, in a lot of ways, since you bring that up, I think Carpenter did. He quit while he was ahead. But Red, we're actually going to be, this is week 9 of Cheese Extreme Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about Insemenoid and Invasion of the Blood Farmers, which is really the more cheesy of the two. I was thinking that Insemenoid was more cheesy, but upon rewatching it today, I was like, well, I guess this is more horror / sci-fi, but it does have its cheesy moments. X-ray, you say like Mel Brooks, right? TJ, you say, still haven't seen Curse. Maybe I shouldn't. LOL. Yeah, you could probably do without seeing it, TJ. But before I get started with the movies, I wanted to just go over, the traditional housekeeping stuff that I always do. And then we'll get started with the movies. Um, as I've said, the last few live streams I've done, I have my Deadites on Deck Facebook page. There's a link for it in the description for this video and some of the previous videos. So if you're interested in liking that page, because that and my personal Facebook page are pretty much the only places that I advertise, um, unless you count on YouTube. So if you want to keep abreast of what I'm going to be talking about, if I get my button gear and make sure that I put these things up, like I didn't put up this one until today, but I get kind of lax about those. The watch alongs, I usually stay on top of those. But we've got links to my Deadites on Deck Facebook page. We've got a link to my YouTube page. Uh, and let's see, my Etsy shop, which Dirk has already ordered a Tenebrae shirt. And Dirk, I don't know if you saw the sample shirt that I did. I actually did two test pressings last night. I did one for Tenebrae, and one thing I realized with these vinyl transfers, they're really thin. So you can't pull real hard when you're removing the backing, because I pulled a piece right off. And I was thankful that it was just a test pressing. The other goof I did was I forgot, when I did that first pressing, I forgot to put the daggone Teflon paper in between my heat press and the actual transfer. And what happened was, as you can imagine, the heat press stuck to it a little bit, and I couldn't really slide it around or anything because the Teflon wasn't there. I was thinking, how come I can't do what it's telling me to do? And then after I did that one, I was like, oh, Dana, I just wanted to slap my head. And so, those two things, but I learned from it. And then I was able to, like, before I do the ones where people have actually paid money for them, at least I'm, getting my mistakes out of the way now. So then I did a second test pressing. Because my dad is opening up a little antiques and collectible shop, and he's going to call it Red Barn Antiques and Collectibles. So I've come up with several different images. I told him that I would, create some shirts for him if he would like me to. So I did a test pressing of a Red Barn, and it says Red Barn Antiques and Collectibles. Really simplistic design, but I thought it turned out really good. So I think now, Dirk, I'm prepared to make your shirt. Whenever I get those 2X shirts, which will probably be this weekend, I will get some 2X shirts. So if you guys are interested in a Tenebrae shirt, or you have any ideas for designs, because I'm going to be putting up some more designs. I just haven't gotten around to doing it because I was sick Monday and Tuesday, and I took off from work. Even though I'm working from home, I didn't feel much up to even coming back here and working. I did live streams for a couple of nights, but I didn't do one last night, though. So, if you're interested in, getting a Tenebrae shirt or any of the other things, the mugs or anything else I might have on there, head on over to the Etsy shop. That link is in the description for the video, too. The Morbid Beauty Boutique. I would recommend, instead of searching for it, because Dirk included, a lot of people have had trouble getting it. I don't know why, but it's hard to get it to come up in a search. Maybe because I'm not that popular yet or something. I don't know. Maybe the algorithms just aren't picking up on it. So if you want to look at what I have on the Morbid Beauty Boutique, it might be better if you click on the link that's in the description for this video and get to it that way. Um, so I think that's about all the housekeeping stuff. I'm going to read y'all's comments here or your chat messages, and then I'm going to get into the movies. Durkee said, never easy losing a pet and family member. I used to raise pit bulls. In a way, I miss them, but boy, it's a lot to worry about. It is, and when they're like my kids, literally, Dirk, because Steve and I don't have any kids, and so the dogs and even all the other animals are my babies. And if you have a sick baby, you're up all night with that baby. So I don't sleep good when one of my animals is not well. So yeah, I totally get that. Um, Dirk, you say, yeah, TJ wouldn't recommend. Dirk, you say, I haven't seen it. I'm hardly on Facebook, but I'll check it out now. Uh, John, you say, hey, Dana, hey, all. I read comments earlier. Sorry about your pet. Well, he's still, Joe Bob the parakeet's still getting by. But, I'm going to get some special food. Um, if you read or if you hear me talk about this later, if you missed the beginning, I was saying that, he's definitely not starving to death, even if he can't get to his food on a regular basis. Kane, the other parakeet, has been feeding him. And I'm just amazed by that behavior. I've never seen two birds do that. I know that they can, but I guess that just means that they bonded really well. Durkee think it looks good, even though I goofed up and like a piece came off, and I was trying to iron it back on, and you can still tell. And I also, as I was saying, I forgot to put the Teflon in between my heat press and the transfer on that one, and the heat press, of course, kind of stuck, and some of the transfer got on my heat press, so I had to clean my heat press off and everything. But the second one, the one I did for my dad, um, it turned out a lot better. So I think I'm pretty well prepared to make the ones that I'm going to sell. So yeah, I'm going to get those 2X shirts this weekend. And if anybody else is interested in, getting a shirt, or they want to give me some suggestions for shirts, I know Texas gave me some. He wants a torso shirt and he wants a goddamn bob shirt. So I'm going to have to come up with those two designs as well. John, you say, I went through a lot of bills with my doodle last month. Pets are like our kids too. We all do what we can for them. Yeah, and that's why I'm really trying to do this stuff for Joe Bob. I'm getting this special natural food. I'm going to be getting some bowls that I can put down lower in the cage for him. I'm going to be getting him a little nest and putting this coconut fiber stuff so he can actually sit somewhere soft. And then I'll, of course, have the food and water down there where he can reach it from his nest. So I'm hoping that he recovers. TJ, you say, however, I did see Soda taking the theater, pay for the 3D. It was not great, huh? John, you say, not to be downer because we're all great now, but I lost a daughter in NICU in 2019, so Duke is like our kid. Oh, John, I did not know. I am so sorry about that. But this is why, even though sometimes we have to, well, we don't have to, but I am so glad that you guys feel comfortable enough to say this stuff around me, because I want everybody to feel comfortable in here. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't talk about other stuff besides movies and stuff in here. Dirk has talked about different personal things. Darren has talked about personal things. I've talked about personal things. So, I appreciate the fact that you guys feel comfortable enough to talk about that stuff in here. But I am sincerely sorry about that. I did not know that. But you say Duke, he's almost 4, but I baby that damn dog. Oh my gosh, you would not believe how much I baby my animals. They are funny but real entertaining. They certainly are. And there's one of my babies now, Brandon. He's already had his sleep pill for the night, but he wants to come in here and check on me, I guess. John, you say, oh, no worries, but I mean, I feel you on pet cost. LOL. I'll take his goofy ass into the vet over silly stuff. Right. Yeah. But y'all, as I always say, y'all excuse me, continue to chat in there about the movies, about other things, about whatever you want. And I keep glancing at the chat as I'm going through this stuff. But we're going to start off with Insemenoid. And I don't know how many of you have seen Insemenoid. It had been a little while since I had watched it, so I needed to refresh it, give myself a refresher on it. I mean, it's pretty much your typical sci-fi horror movie. And, what I was talking about earlier is I actually thought this was more cheesy than it was. It turned out to be a lot darker and bloodier. I think the cheesiest thing about this movie, though, was the creature that rapes the blonde woman in here. And the creature she gives birth to. She actually gives birth to 2 creatures that look like mini versions of the father. So, I mean, this movie kind of starts out like an Alien ripoff because let me just go and give you a plot synopsis here real quickly. So, an alien creature has been waiting millions of years for a chance to breed, and its time has finally come when a group of space explorers unwittingly lands on its home planet. The 12-member crew is investigating for possible origins for the planet's vanished civilization. Instead, they awaken the planet's creature and discover that the horror to come is more terrifying than any nightmare that they could ever imagine. And I believe this is an all British cast, and Sir Run Run Shaw was the one that presented this. And Steve said that's because he's from Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is like, I guess, a British territory or owned by Britain or something. So Run Run Shaw was knighted. And I knew Run Run Shaw had presented or produced or whatever some horror movies and things like that. This is actually directed by Norman J. Warren as well. And you probably, if you haven't seen this one, you've probably seen some other Norman Warren films. And I'm drawing a blank right now. But I can probably tell you here just a second. I'm not going to read too much off of IMDb. But I know Norman J. Warren. I know good and well he has done. And by the way, this is from 1981. Stephanie Beacham is in this too. And I had forgotten, Norman J. Warren did die last year. He died back in March at the age of 78. But he did Bloody New Year, which I've tried to really get into Bloody New Year, and I and I haven't been able to like I thought I would, the first time I watched it. But he also did Satan's Slave. He did Prey from 1977. He did Terror from 1978. Horror Planet is the other title for Insemenoid. Bloody New Year. Um, he also did a couple of shorts, The Devil Made Them Do It, and one called Incident. He also did a short called Turn Your Bloody Phone Off, the second batch. Um, well, I think that was the name of the anthology for the shorts, and his was called Norman J. Warren and the Ghost. So, but like I said, this is a pretty much, I believe, an all British cast. Um, let's see. John, you say I kept mixing up Insemenoid and Demonoid. Well, they do. You know, they sound quite a lot alike. Oh, that would be cool, Dirk. I would be up for doing one of those. An Exorcist shirt with Pazuzu Reagan snickering. That would be good. Now, as long as I don't get any cease and desist from anybody, I'll keep making the different shirts. But I'm hoping that with Etsy, it won't be as bad as some of these other companies. I guess these other companies that do the legwork for you, maybe they're afraid of getting their site shut down or something if they let too many people do too many popular images. But I think it pretty much sucks when places like TeePublic tell you you can use like Evil Dead images and stuff like that as long as you alter them a bit. And they would take my shop down every freaking time I done it. But then there'd be tons of other people with all different kinds of Evil Dead designs. And it didn't look like they did much altering to them. So it kind of pissed me off. Yes, TJ, I didn't know that was Steve Martin's ex-wife. But yes, Victoria Tennant is also in this. John, you say they can be odd about that cease and desist. Um, Becca got one for selling Dolly Parton stickers she designed with a dolly saying on it, just BS, LOL. Oh, yeah. And it was on Etsy. See, I look for the other shoe to drop at some point. You know, if my stuff starts selling on a regular basis and maybe my shop gets noticed more or something like that, it's possible. I know a girl that I work with in the IT department at Stockyards. Her mom makes these really elaborate like models and stuff. And what was she doing? I can't remember if it was Harry Potter. Maybe it was Harry Potter, something or other. She did, and she was making these little books to go in. Like, it's almost like she can do dollhouse model type things. And she got a cease and desist letter over that, and she had to quit selling them. I mean, she could keep them for herself, but she couldn't sell them on her shop. So, and that was Etsy too, from what I understand. So, you know, I'll do what I can as long as I can. But then, you know, I will tell you guys if I get any threatening letters um, to cease and desist on any of these designs, of course, I will have no choice but to stop selling them. But I'll sell as many designs or offer as many designs and keep them up there for as long as I can. So, anyway, back to Insemenoid. As I said, Jennifer Ashley's on this, Stephanie Beacham, Stephen, is it Grives, Barry Houghton, Rosalind Lloyd, Victoria Tennant, as we said, Trevor Thomas, Heather Wright, David Baxt, and Judy Gleason is the girl that gets raped by the alien and gives birth to his spawn. Um, and something else cheesy about this, other than the aliens, when Judy Gleason gets inseminated, and she starts, feeling the effects of this. She starts attacking the rest of the crew. And she gets really bizarre looking. She almost looks like a China doll or something. I don't know if they did something with her makeup or what. But to be honest, I don't think Judy Gleason is that good of an actress. I don't know for sure. I told you I wasn't going to keep looking at IMDb. But I was going to say, I don't know for sure if she has been on many other things. But I know Stephanie Beacham has. So let's see. Or Geeson. Did I say Gleason? Geeson. Sorry about that. Well, she was on To Serve with Love, which is a non-horror movie that I really like. She was also on 31 as Sister Dragon. But she was on Lords of Salem playing Lacey Dole. I was trying to see if she was on. Like I said, she was on To Serve with Love, which I haven't seen in years, but I always did like that movie. That was a non-horror movie that I liked. She was on a bunch of stuff in the 60s, it looks like. Not really stuff that I'm familiar with. She was in the movie It Happened at Nightmare Inn, playing Laura Barkley. She's on some BBC Plays of the Month. She was on the Thriller TV series, one of the episodes, Murder on the Midnight Express. She was on Space 1999. A lot of this stuff. She was on Saturday Night Thriller TV series playing Angie in an episode called Grass. She was in Tales of the Unexpected, Murder, She Wrote, The A-Team, MacGyver. She was on The Secret Life of Kathy McCormick, a TV movie. The Monsters television show. Star Trek Voyager. Yeah, she's on a bunch of TV, it looks like. But she has been in some newer horror movies. Yes, she was on the show Mad About You, TJ. Red, you said, I haven't seen a large amount of British horror films, but didn't care for the majority of the ones I watched. Well, I have to pick and choose the one. I don't like all of them. I'm more of a fan of British comedy than I am British horror, but I did like this one. I do like Pete Walker, who did a lot of, he did like Schizo. He did Frightmare, or one movie called Frightmare, not the one where they dig up the horror star or whatever. This is one about a mother who's a cannibal and her family tries to hide the fact that she's a cannibal. But he did a bunch of like different things. I think probably Schizo is probably the favorite for me that he did. John, you say, yeah, her and Patricia, what's her name from Rocky Horror, were so old in Lords of Salem. Right. Fred Krueger, you say Judy Geeson is a great actor. Well, I mean, she might be in other stuff. I didn't really care for her in this. And maybe she was told to act this way. TJ, you say she did a bunch of TV. She was on that show, Mad About You, as a neighbor. Darky say, what would be your second favorite genre after horror? Mine has got to be crime noir. I guess, and you guys are probably going to think this is odd, but probably after horror, it's probably comedies for me. I grew up watching and being introduced to a lot of comedies from my dad. And then probably a close behind that, what would y'all call like things like Death Wish and Dirty Harry? Would you call those exploitation movies? Or, I mean, I guess Dirty Harry would be like cop movies, but that it's probably horror movies, and then comedies, and then whatever you want to call those Dirty Harry, Death Wish type of movies. And I guess the exploitation movies kind of goes with my horror movies. It's like they're kind of mix and match in there. John, you said, Dirk, I almost got Chinatown the other day. It's kind of noir like. I actually had that, I think, but I don't think I've sat down and watched it. Dirk, you say, Hammer Horror is a 50-50 dice roll for me. Yeah, I think it is for me, too. TJ, you say, Geeson is in a weird 60s horror movie with Joan Crawford where there are killings at a circus. I might like to see that one. Jason, you say, Kiss Me Deadly is one of my favorite non-horror films. I think I may have gotten Steve that, Kiss Me Deadly. I was pretty sure he asked for it one year for Christmas. Fred, you say, she's my age and now old. Well, I mean, we're all going to get old if we live long enough. Durkee say, yes, Chinatown is a Polanski, right? So, Fred, you're 72? Well, they keep telling me that 40 is the new 30, so maybe 70 is the new 60 or something. I don't know. You know how they say you're only as old as you feel, so if you feel pretty good, it doesn't matter if you're 72 or 102 or 22. John, you say, my guilty pleasure genre is action. Anything with Chuck Norris just pulls me in like a 10-year-old. Yeah, I got you. I mean, I like my fair share of action movies, too. Collective crime thrillers. Yeah. Dark, are you saying that crime thrillers is about like what I was talking about, Dirty Harry and Death Wish and stuff? I'm just always, I can't be sure if Death Wish is more exploitive, an exploitation type of film. It's kind of rape revenge too, or just all out revenge. Johnny Sayer, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I don't care what any critic says, Bloodsport is a national treasure. TJ, you say, I like every genre. Horror is the biggie in my world. Well, I think probably horror is the biggie for most of us in here. Death Wish is a classic. I was actually talking to my mom about that the other night because we were talking about my dad, and I hope nobody takes this the wrong way, but my dad introduced me to a lot of things like Death Wish and stuff. And not because, there was any kind of weirdness between me and my dad. It was just My dad thought those were good movies. He thought the Death Wish movies were. He thought the Dirty Harry movies were, and he introduced me to all of those. I mean, through my dad is how I even found out about movies like that. Um, but yeah, I was talking to my mom about it the other night, and she was like, "I never liked the Death Wish movies. I don't like Charles Bronson." I was like, "How can you not like Charles Bronson, Mom?" But anyway, Fred, you say I seen a lot of drive-in movies back in the 70s. I wish I'd, sometimes I wish that I was a little older because then I would have gotten to enjoy that stuff when it was in its prime. You know what I mean? Dirk, you say, my favorite Chuck Norris is Lone Wolf McQuade. Johnny say, hell yeah, I got Lone Wolf McQuade, got the vinyl too. Dirk, you say, yeah, rape, revenge, crime thrillers, exploitation, kind of a mixed bag. Yeah, and that's why sometimes when people ask me that, I don't mind answering, but sometimes I stumble over it because I'm like, I don't know how to classify some of these things. So, anyway, back to Insemenoid, but y'all keep putting some stuff in the chat. So, the woman played by Judy Geeson is inseminated by this creature. And I swear it looks sort of like a low rent how Jeff Goldblum looks in the Fly remake. I can't help it. It's like these big green eyes and stuff. And it's not like he has a penis that he's entering her with his penis. I'm not trying to be gross here, guys. I'm just trying to describe what I see in the movie. It's like this tube full of green stuff and eggs, and it goes inside her, and then before you know it, she's throwing everybody on this crew around and killing them and doing all kinds of stuff, and then she gives birth to these twin creatures that look like their daddy. And what I can't there's one thing I can't understand about this movie is why on earth, after they kill Judy Geeson's character, sorry, spoiler, do they take these creatures and the one woman that's left near the end is holding them like they're real babies. I'm like, these are creatures. These are alien creatures. What are you doing? And the next thing you know, she's getting her throat torn out because she was trying to cuddle these damn things like they were human babies. So I didn't understand. The movie was also bloodier than I originally remembered it. I mean, it's not ultra gory or anything, but it is bloodier than I thought. And it's not, it's about regular length. I think it's like an hour and 31 minutes or something like that. But they seem to kill off these people in pretty quick succession in this movie. I would recommend it. I mean, it's not a horrible movie. It does have some cheesy parts. For instance, Judy Geeson's acting, whether she was told to do that or not, it's just sort of cheesy to me, especially when she's giving birth to the two creatures. Of course, you might say, well, Dana, if you were giving birth to these two creatures, wouldn't you be going, ah, like that, like she is? Maybe so. But I did think, again, when this movie first came on, I was thinking it was like an Alien ripoff. So I don't know if that's what Norman J. Warren was going for or not, but it sort of had like an alien-like feel to it. John, you say Eastwood has a ton of low-key good movies, even as comedies like Every Which Way But Loose. I love those movies. But Steve told me something about what happened to the orangutan that played Clyde, and I was like, please don't tell me this stuff, please. Because I love that movie and I love Clyde. So I wish he wouldn't tell me these things. As sensitive as we both are about animals, I don't know why he does that. Dirk, you say, sorry for getting off topic. Oh, no problem, Dirk. I don't mind that at all. I just find myself, because y'all are having such interesting conversations that I realized that I forgotten and stopped talking about the movies I was supposed to be talking about. So it's totally not you. It's just I didn't used to get distracted like that, but now I do. And I'll find myself talking for 20 minutes about something totally unrelated to the movies, and it's totally not y'all's fault. I tell y'all to talk about whatever, and I want you to talk about whatever in there, and I don't mind you asking me questions or anything like that. I just don't want anybody going away from this saying, well, geez, she didn't talk about the movies very long at all. She talked about all kinds of other stuff. There's still some sticky on this invasion of the blood farmers. I haven't had this one very long, and Steve was like, oh God, why did you get that? But he says that about a lot of things I get. Dirk, you say, oh yeah, Clint Eastwood is a man, no doubt. I agree. TJ, you say, it's Alien meets Humanoids from the Deep in the UK. Exactly. Dirk, you say, just watch Nothing Underneath and Deadly Manor. Both are really cheesy as hell. Oh, yes. Yes. Because Steve got, well, I don't know if he got Deadly Manor, but we watched Deadly Manor. But he did get Nothing Underneath. What was there another movie was that a double feature? Was there Nothing Underneath and then another movie with that, Dirk? Or I can't remember, but I do remember that Steve did watch Nothing Underneath, and I'm pretty sure I watched it with him. Too Beautiful to Die, yeah. Am I wrong, or was Linnea Quigley in both of those? And somebody else that was in at least one of those, I think. Wasn't it Eric Freeman? Didn't Eric Freeman play a boyfriend or something in one of those? TJ, a lot of people are asking me about that. It's actually a song called Rainbow Eyes, performed by a group called Sorcery, with, I believe, Susie Major doing the lead vocals. And if you are in my Rocktober Blood watch along, you'll know exactly where that song came from. It came from that movie. So there's some other songs, I'm Back, Killer on the Loose, things like that you might also enjoy as well. But yeah, that's the song, Rainbow Eyes. So let me talk a little bit about the special features on this. It is pretty packed with special features. Scream Factory did put this out. You get a very English exploitation, Insemenoid and the shock cinema of Norman J. Warren, a 90-minute documentary on the life and times of director Norman J. Warren, featuring contributions from Warren, actress Jennifer Ashley, visual effects artist Jez Harris, screenwriter and critic David McGilvray, author Kim Newman, and filmmaker Pete Walker. New audio interview with Norman J. Warren. Alien Encounter and interview with Norman J. Warren. Q&A with producer Richard Gordon and Norman J. Warren from the Manchester Festival of Fantastic Films in 2008. Q&A with Norman J. Warren at the Manchester Festival of Fantastic Films from 2011. A Q&A with Norman J. Warren at the Manchester Festival of Fantastic Films from 2019. And you get a theatrical trailer and TV spots. And that is Insemenoid. Pretty cool little film, actually. TJ, you say, oh, that's where it's from. Cool, sounded familiar. Thank you. You're welcome. Dirk, you say, I haven't watched Too Beautiful, but Donald Pleasance was in Nothing Underneath. Okay. Okay, so maybe it was Too Beautiful to Die. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally getting. Maybe that was another like a double feature that I'm getting it confused with, because you don't recall Linnea Quigley or Freeman. Yeah, maybe that was another one. I'm gonna have to ask Steve about that, because I was really like, whoa, Eric Freeman's in this, and Linnea Quigley. Yeah, I must be totally. Yeah, I must be totally off that. Maybe it was. I'm gonna have to look this up, because this is bothering me. I had it totally. I think Steve got this one too. The ones you're talking about, or at least Nothing Underneath. And I think Too Beautiful to Die, yeah. But, because now if I don't look this up, it's going to. Okay, I think it was Deadly Embrace. Deadly Embrace was one. And it had like, well, maybe that's not it either. Because this has got Jan Michael Vincent on it. It's David Dakota. Gosh, man, I would. Maybe that's the other movie that's with the other one. Because, yeah, this has Ruth Collins on it, and Jan Michael Vincent, Michelle Bauer. Okay, I think I figured it out. Murder Weapon must be. Okay, yeah, Murder Weapon. Two daughters of mobsters get out of the sanitarium after having killed a boyfriend in the shower. Supposedly cured and on the right track, they hold a party and invite all their old boyfriends, making all of them think there is still hope for a relationship. Then the boyfriends start disappearing one by one. This one's also directed by David Dakota. Lyle Wagner's on this, Linnea Quigley, Karen Russell. Let's see if this is the one. Eric Freeman, yes, plays Jeff, but he's under the name Damon Charles. So, but you clearly, anybody that's seen Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 knows that that is Eric Freeman in that. Darky said, "Don't recall Linnea Quigley or Freeman." So it's the Murder Weapon one. That's that's the one you need to see to watch now. Um, yeah, John, it seemed like I did hear something about Insemenoid 4K, which, to be totally honest with you guys, the Blu-ray doesn't look that great, so I'm hoping a 4K will be a step up. Yeah, Garbage Day. Yeah, he doesn't say that in this. He's more low key in this movie. So, anyway, moving on to the second film I wanted to talk about, Invasion of the Blood Farmers. Now, if you want to talk about cheese, this movie has it in spades. This movie has so much cheese in it, it must have been grown on a dairy farm. I kid you not. And you can just tell. Look at that. You know, and again, I don't know how many of you have seen Invasion of the Blood Farmers, but you're in for a real treat if you have not seen it. But I'll tell you this, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Try to find it, on YouTube or Tubi or something. I wouldn't put out the money for it. I did. I don't really know why. I just do crazy things like that sometimes. But let me check and see if it's even on. Here, I tell y'all to go look on YouTube, and I don't even know who it's on there. Well, you can buy or rent it. Lots of people have done reviews on it. But I definitely wouldn't buy this one unless you're really sure that you want to put in the money for it. But golly, there's a ton of people that did reviews for it. Unbelievable. But anyway, y'all see the Changeling 4K is coming right after I bought the damn blue. Oh, damn it, Dirk. I just bought the blue not very long ago, too. Shit. Johnny say, haha, oh, I'm kidding. I just know they're all about pins lately. Yep, Screen Factory pins. You say, Dirk, I saw that. I may get that finally. TJ, you say, I'm surprised the blood wasn't fondue. Blood Farmers was so cheesy. That was acting? LOL. Exactly. Dirk, you say, I'm keeping my blue, man. That pisses me off when that happens. It does me too, Dirk, but, they're going to keep doing it because they always know that there's going to be somebody that's going to purchase it. Somebody is going to buy those damn things. Yeah. Yeah, John, you say, yeah, it's lame. That's the norm now, it seems. It discourages people from buying blues. But, guys, I am so sorry to have to step away, but I'm just going to step away for a second and get me some more Mountain Dew or refresher on that. So I will put up the lovely Evil Dead background. Be right back. All right. Got, uh, and the light went out. Okay. Just bear with me just a second, guys. I guess I should count myself lucky that these lights last an hour. But, like I said, they're supposed to last a couple hours. These batteries are. Okay, let's see. No, Wes, no dog shit in the floor. Or did Steve? No, Steve didn't either. No, actually, I went to refresh my zero sugar Mountain Dew, and I was also checking on my parakeet. I was telling everybody in here earlier, Wes, that my parakeet seems to have injured himself, and so I'm kind of having to, take care of him too. So, dare you say, all hell, laughing my ass off. Jason, you say Steve has been asleep for 3 hours. Well, actually, Steve did go to lay down he usually goes to lay down after his supper. And actually, today he went in the bedroom before supper because I didn't get off from my job until 4:30. And then when I'm working from home, as soon as I get done with work, I will heat up whatever food that I have for him. But he didn't hardly stay in the living room anytime. And so I ended up bringing him his plate in the bedroom. And now he's asleep. He probably went to sleep about 7:30. What you say, Steve shit in the bed? Lord, I hope not. I hope he never does that. I won't be sleeping with him if he does. Dirky say, I got a Lon Chaney flick in the penalty from 1920, 102-year-old film. Might be my oldest movie I own. That's pretty cool, though. TJ, you say, I like pens, but I'm not paying an extra 40 to 50 bucks to get them when I really just want to buy the damn movie. Yeah, I got you. Dirky say, I liked pens when I was a young teen. I'd put them on my torn up denim jacket back in the Gap. Not so much now, although you could get a cork board, I guess. LOL. Johnny say, yeah, I just want the movie. No extras or pins or whatever. No offense to people who collect it. I just don't need that stuff. No, I totally get that. It depends with me. It's like Steve still laughs at me. Like I was talking about people buying all those damn slip covers and stuff, and just buying the slip cover and paying 7, 8 or more bucks for it. Or people got really crazy on eBay and were spending a ton of money on some of those. I was like, it's just a damn slip cover. And then I told him I wasn't going to have him get me that graduation day slip cover because he had already bought me the movie. And then he showed it to me, damn it. And then I said, oh, but that looks cool. Can I have it? And he still laughs at me now because I made a big deal about people buying those things. And then what did I turn around and do? I want one too. Yeah, some slips go for big money, Dirk. Yeah. I'm not going to give that much for them, but I'm really not that much. But so a little bit of a plot synopsis, if you can even call it that, for Invasion of the Blood Farmers. The 70s Grindhouse classic now scanned from the original negative with new bonus materials. So you're going to hear a lot of familiar names probably in this description. In 1972, a team of New York City exploitation outlaws that include Ed Adlam, who did Shriek of the Mutilated, Ed Kelleher from Primeval, and Michael and Roberta Finley, The Touch of Her Flesh and Snuff, along with first time assistant cameraman and future award winning cinematographer Frederick Elms, Eraserhead, and Blue Velvet. Descended on bucolic Westchester County with 8.5 bottles of stage blood to make a movie about a druid cult seeking to resurrect their dead queen. The budget was $24,000. The cast was paid in beer. And the result remains one of the greatest achievements in schlock shock cinema history. Severn Films is proud to present this accidental masterpiece like you've never seen it before, now scanned from the original negative for the first time ever and spurting with all new special features. And it does actually look pretty good overall, this movie. Rock Shock Pop said, a complete whack job of a film. A mind-numbingly bizarre attempt at low-budget horror that's always entertaining and absolutely worth seeing. Yeah, I'm going to say it's definitely worth a watch. I just would say before you invest money in it, try to see if you can watch it for free somewhere. Perhaps it is on Tubi. I didn't look. Wes, you say cardboard collectors. Johnny said, I will say those Arrow special editions are awesome. Very cool to display too. Yeah, they unfortunately they are. And that just makes you want to all the more buy a bunch of them. So yeah, so you've got a druid cult that's wanting to raise their queen from the dead. So you got these guys that literally they dress like farmers, but boy do they act weird. They hang out at the local bar that has a variety of colorful characters in it, including a guy they call Jim Carrey. Looks nothing like the comedian Jim Carrey. But he's the first guy you see who's suffering from whatever the side effects are of these blood farmers trying to harvest their blood to raise their dead queen from the dead. And you got guys that look like they they fakely colored their hair gray or white, and it's you got a guy that's mopping up Jim Carrey's blood after they, I guess, take the body away. I don't know who this guy is. He's like, I forget what they call him, but he's just some hippie like guy, and he's just keeps cleaning the floor, but he doesn't really ever clean the blood up, and he says it won't. No matter how much I scrub this floor, this blood spot gets bigger. And that's a big thing about this. Whatever the blood farmers are doing to the blood that they're taking from the victims, they're like actually siphoning it out. You see it come out of the arm of one of the women that they have kidnapped and are harvesting the blood from. Whatever it is that they're doing to it, it makes it multiply very fast. So there's a doctor or a scientist or whatever in town, and her or his daughter is dating a guy that's like his assistant. There's a very fake scene where her dog is killed, and one of the blood farmers brings it and hangs it up on the porch. I mean, it's obvious it's not a dog, and it looks like a stuffed animal with red fake blood put on it. So you don't have to worry, you animal lovers, about, being, like, oh, I don't want to see that, because it obviously doesn't look real. But the girl's dad is in his lab or whatever, and like, they have a little tiny bit of blood left from one of the victims, I think from Jim Carrey. And it just keeps multiplying, and he's got it in this big beaker, and it's like overflowing. And he's like, I've never seen nothing like it. I can't stop it. There's all kinds of funny scenes like this and bad acting. I mean, really, really bad acting. Um, but it's still enjoyable. It's not like I want to watch it every day, but it does make me laugh. I remember me and my cousin Jed sitting around watching this damn thing and laughing about a guy named Jim Carrey, and um, so um, I actually ran through this one pretty quickly, but like it all started to come back to me as I was watching it, and it's not a very long movie at all, only 77 minutes, which is another reason why I say, unless you really, really want this sucker and really, really want these special features, I wouldn't pay the money out. Um, but you do get some special features. You get audio commentary with director Ed Adlam and actress Ortram Tipple, moderated by Kier LaGenesi, author of House of Psychotic Women. Nothing You'd Show Your Mom, Eddie Adams' journey through exploitation, coin-op, and rock and roll. Painful Memories, an interview with cinematographer Frederick Elms. Harvesting the Dead, an interview with actor Jack Newbeck, and a trailer. And believe it or not, there are songs by somebody called AJ Smut. And I don't know if that's a real name, fake name, a mix and match, or what. But Bo Burrell and AJ Smut did the songs. And I'm not sure, again, what Steve's very choosy about his things that he likes to watch, because the same director did Shriek of the Mutilated. And Steve has absolutely no interest in watching this movie, but he watched that damn Shriek of the Mutilated. Dirk, you say, yeah, but to me, remembering back in the day, VHS, you rented the movie, no art to take home. We didn't give a shit. It was about the movie. Shit's crazy these days. Yeah, Dirk, I mean, we didn't get, generally, you did not even get to take anything with the box art home. You got a clear plastic case with a VHS in it. And speaking of Rocktober Blood, that's how I got my first copy of Rocktober Blood. Was, I guess it was a former rental, and it was just the VHS tape in a clear plastic case, and I bought it from somebody at the Consumer Mall. I was just looking at the stuff they had. They had all kinds of different things on their table. You know, some old Fangoria issues that they were selling cover price. I was in heaven with that, because I don't think they realized what they had, because I asked them how much they want for those, whatever it says on the magazine, and it's like these were old issues, so it was dirt cheap. And then I think they sold me the VHS tape for October Blood. I just thought the title sounded cool. I didn't know anything about the movie, never seen the movie before. There was no cover art for it. It was just totally blind buy. I think the guy sold it to me for like $5. And of course, the beginning of it was a little messed up, but the rest of it you could watch. So, yeah, that explains my first introduction to Rocktober Blood. John, you say that Rocktober Blood VHS is rare. The Vestron with cover goes for a lot. I probably either still got it somewhere around here. I mean, granted, it doesn't have a cover. And if it's not here at me and Steve's house, it's still probably at my mom and dad's somewhere in a closet somewhere. So, John, you say you found the vinyl and CD reissued from a new company. Didn't get it, but it's out there. Is it like super, super expensive, John? I was just wondering. Dirk, you say people getting caught slipping and don't even watch the movie. That shit is crazy to me. Yeah, that's crazy. And then there's this guy on YouTube. I think he goes by T Money. Um, and he buys shit he doesn't even like, and he'll tell you in the videos that he doesn't like it. It's like, dude, why do you buy it? But he like makes tons of money. He makes his own. He markets his own spaghetti sauce or barbecue sauce or some shit like that, and so he's got money to burn, and burn that money he does. It burns a hole right through his damn pocket and his wallet and everything else because and he'll buy three or four copies of the same damn movie, and he's not going to flip them. He doesn't say anything about flipping any of them. He just got them because he can get them. It's like, I don't get that kind of stuff. And I would like to think if I was rolling in money, I wouldn't do such silly things like that either. So, John, you say Paul Bearer Press has it? I'm going to have to take a look at that. Of course, if they only have one, I don't want to buy it out from under you or anything like that, John. Dirk, you say people getting... oh, I done read that. Sorry, Dirk. But yeah, I'll have to check that out on Paul Bearer Press, though. But you say, oh no, I'm good. LOL. Gotcha. Well, I remember you saying one night that you wanted that damn vinyl. And so I just want to make sure that I'm not... oh, you'd want an original. Yeah, I would like to have an original, but I would take the reissue, I guess, just to have one. But with that being said, guys, I have finished talking about the movies I was going to discuss tonight. It's not quite 9:30 yet, so I can stay on here for a little bit longer and we can just bullshit about different things. John, you say I missed on Killer Clowns from Waxwork like an idiot. Well, I didn't get that one either. And there's others that I have missed out on. I meant to get The Fog, and I probably missed out on it. Now, if I want to get it, I'll probably have to get it off of eBay or something. Dirk, you say I've seen some Criterion Rich Boys on YouTube spending thousands at Barnes and Noble. Yeah, I don't get it. But I will remind you that next Wednesday, speaking of killer clowns, I'm going to be covering Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Luther the Geek for Cheese Extreme Wednesday. And believe it or not, I've got a damn slipcover for Luther the Geek. I didn't buy this separate. I bought it all together. But again, this is one I remember from my video rental days. John, you say, yeah, Dirk, that's so dumb. Just endless pockets, no movie interest. Real. Yeah, and that's what kind of the vibe I get from this T Money guy, that he's not a true fan like we are. If they were a true fan, they would probably be more choosy. It almost seems like to me they're saying, oh, look at how much money I got. Look at all the shit I can buy. Dirk, you say that Killer Clown slip is higher than hell. Yeah, actually, I don't have a slip on that one. Speaking of Killer Clowns, though, Grant Kramer is going to be at Horror Hound upcoming soon, and I've still got some tickets that I need to use. But I actually want to talk to Grant Kramer about New Year's Evil instead of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, I believe it is, Jason. I believe it is coming out on 4K soon. I've got a whole bunch of things pre-ordered now from Amazon that are 4Ks, plus the Happy Birthday to Me Blu-ray. Here I was talking about people buying multiple copies of shit, and I'm going to get another copy of Happy Birthday to Me. But it's not the same damn thing. It's a different release. Johnny said, I'm getting me a Killer Clowns candy gun at Spirit when it opens here. Yeah, Steve was telling me some of the Spirit Halloween stores are already open. I need to see if there's one open in Louisville yet. So, John, you say you're waiting daily for them to open? Yeah, I don't. I haven't even decided what I'm gonna be for Halloween this year. I'm probably gonna have to take off from work for Halloween if I want to be able to, get all prepared and all that stuff. Oh, you guys probably aren't interested, but I know we were talking about this one other night about me trying to get it set up where I could work from home here on out. And I did drop an email to our HR department at Stockyards, and I said, hey, if I wanted to request reasonable accommodations for a disability, which again, call me crazy, but this is on the ADA site. Um, Stress, anxiety, depression, even diabetes are all referred to as disabilities. They're recognized as disabilities. So I think they're not necessarily, an employer's not necessarily required to give me exactly the reasonable accommodation I request, but they are required to give me some kind of reasonable accommodation. Um, and from what I've been reading, the working from home option is one of the cheapest options for the employer. I can prove that my productivity is better when I'm working from home. All they got to do is look at those tickets that were completed for the past 3 months that I've been working from home. It's exponentially higher than when I was in the office. So I dropped them an email and I said, hey, if I was requesting reasonable accommodations for a disability, would I need to get some ADA paperwork from you guys and have my doctor fill it out? Or what do I need to do? And they said, well, first you need to inquire of us what we can do to help you and what your reasonable accommodation, what kind of reasonable accommodations you're wanting. And then if we need more information, we will request it. And I told Steve, they're going to drag ass around, drag this out. And I need to get back with my doctor because they need to know if I need to have another upcoming appointment so they can fill out this paperwork for me. So they need to get on the stick. So I'm probably just going to have to push and prod a little bit. But John, yeah, Spirit has some cool collectibles now. Dirk, you say Spirit Halloween is open here? Yeah, I know Steve said that some places they were open already. John, you say, and our coffee mugs are good. Hey, John, though, I'm selling coffee mugs too. Don't you want to get a coffee mug from me? I'm just kidding. I know which coffee mugs you're talking about, and they are cool. TJ, you say, I got to start making my Halloween costume. Need to make a beard because I won't grow one by then. I'm not sure what Brandon's doing. He's poor boy. He paces a while before he finally lays down and goes to sleep. So it sounds like some of you have your Halloween costumes lined out. Of course, you might be thinking with me, why on earth are you dressing up, Dana? How freaking old are you? But I do it because I enjoy it, and the kids that come around getting candy, they like to see what you're dressed up as. The little kids even aren't even scared when you dress up as Leatherface or somebody, Michael Myers or whoever you dress up as. Well, she said, we're going to be at Georgetown Saturday. We should all go meet up and do a spirit vid. That would be cool, Wes. I'll mention it to Steve. Now, you know how he is, though. But have you already mentioned this to him? Because he's probably he knows better than to mention stuff like that with me because I always like to meet up with our friends and do things. You know, I think it's fun. Um, so you're going, Wes? Are y'all going to be in Georgetown, where the drive-in is? Is that what you're talking about? Johnny said, I'll have to get one soon. My favorite mug is my Halloween 78 that shows the shapes mass slowly when it heats up. It's pretty cool. I have a Friday the 13th one like that. Um, I think it's in the kitchen in one of the cabinets somewhere. I'll have to. Oh, okay. Well, she said, no, it just hit me. LOL. Well, I don't know. Steve came home and it kind of, he'll probably say he didn't, but it, Georgetown, Kentucky. Okay. I gotcha. I'll mention it to Steve, but you know, the reason why I asked that, Wes, is Steve came home in a kind of weird mood, or I thought he was kind of in a weird mood. I asked him if something was wrong or something went on at work, and he said no. Perhaps he was just tired. But I just, I got it in my head, well, maybe Wes said something like, hey, we all get together on Saturday and do this. And um, Steve was afraid to tell me because I would beg to do it. It's like, Steve, bless his heart, he doesn't like to do anything anymore. He wants people to come to him, I guess. He just doesn't want to get out and do anything. But basically, you know, especially since I've been working from home so much, I love to get out. I don't want to stay in this house all the time, just sit around on the couch. I like to watch my fair share of movies, but I still like to get out some. TJ, you say I have a party every year, mandatory costumes. There you go, TJ. That's the go big or go home, right? Um, so I'm guessing Sarah's going to be with you, Wes, because I feel like I ain't seen Sarah in forever. I always like meeting up with Wes and Sarah. Um, and, you know, going around and looking in the stores. Steve has a big ego. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's an ego thing. It's just he doesn't. He's so tired all the time. He doesn't want to do anything, and he says he's old, and but he ain't that dang old. You know, he's just a few years older than I am, and I'm 46. Well, still, Wes, I'll ask him. The worst he can say is no, right? I mean, I always have a good time. Like Wes and them like to go in the record shops and all that. And Steve will do it for a little while, but he doesn't want to keep on going quite as long as the rest of us do. So he always says, "Well, I ain't doing that no more because I'm tired," you know. And it's no offense to Wes or anybody else. It's just the way Steve is. John, you say, yeah, weekends are hot chicken and thrifts. Breaks up weekday BS. See, I really wish that Steve would get on that bandwagon. I mean, but he just, I sometimes worry that it's some kind of depression is the reason why he doesn't want to do anything. But I do things like that to keep from getting depressed. I love to go in, just like you say, thrift shops. I love to go in record shops. I love to go in the Halloween shops. And Steve reminds me a lot of like how my dad was when I got a little bit older and would like to go different places. Dad would look around the store really quickly and then he'd say, let's go. You know, and Steve's like that too. He's like, babe, let's go. Let's go. If I manage to get him to take me somewhere like the mall, it's like, can we go? Can we go? I want to get back home and watch the movies. I'm tired. I get so sick of hearing that. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Darky say, I ain't gonna lie. We're homebodies. My wife is more so, but I'm gone all week working in the heat. LOL. Yeah. So Dirk, I totally get that, but I bet you like to get out some. Steve is slowly turning more and more into a hermit where he doesn't, if he's not working, he doesn't want to be outside the house. It's a wonder I can get him out to like go get groceries or whatever. And sometimes I can't. He's like, can't we wait or can't we get them delivered? And the only time usually I say get them delivered is if I'm feeling bad. But Johnny say, not lately though. Shit is hot outside and gas. Yeah, gas is going down a tiny bit here. Also, it's been a lot cooler here lately. Um, Knock on wood. I hope that the trend continues. Johnny say, yeah, Dirk, I can't imagine, man. You work on houses too, right? Yeah, that has got to be a hot job that Dirk has. I don't think I would, Dirk talked about having patience being, painting and stuff like that. I wouldn't. Plus, I'm not a very good painter either. Steve's still on me about when I painted the walls in the kitchen a different color. He finally relented and let me do it. But he said I messed up the molding at the top because I've got some of the wall paint on the molding and I've got to repaint it to fix that. And he's like, look what you did, Dana. That was so sloppy. Dougie said, yeah, all my work this summer's been outside. It was 104 yesterday. See, we've cooled off significantly. It was, 90 and 90, 100, a little bit over 100 uh, for weeks. And now we had several, storms and rain showers. And now the humidity is down. I'm almost scared to say it too loud because I'm afraid it'll get hot again because we're not even out of August yet. But today, really, it was starting to feel like September out there to me, and I was just loving it because it was like 82 degrees at the hottest, but the humidity was so low that it didn't even feel that hot. But like I said, I can probably stay on here a little bit longer, maybe till 9:45 or something, and then I guess I'm going to call it a night. But hey, Wes, if you're still in here, around what time are you going to be in Georgetown? Because I might be able to talk Steve into it if you don't feel like, if you don't mind us tagging along. Dirk, you say it don't feel like fall till November, lol. Well, I'm hoping we don't have a hot October. I want a nice, not frigid, but cool October. Um, they're gonna, they're wanting some of the IT people to be moved to our new location and set up shop in October. So I guess if they give me too much flack and won't let me work from home, I guess I'll work from home as long as I can and then tell them I want to go out to the East Point location and work starting in October. Because I, I don't really want to go downtown anymore. There was a lady that was going to work and I guess she had left one of the parking lots and was like gonna walk across the road to get to the 435 building where we're located. That's what they call it, the 435 building, operations building. And some dude ran up to her and was, screaming and hollering and waving his hands and stuff. And she screamed back at him to get away, and he left. But like that kind of stuff just makes me nervous. And you have it's not like going down 4th Street and 4th Street Live where all those restaurants and different things are. This is Jackson Street that I have to walk down to get to the 435 when I get off the bus is not a really good area of downtown. You do a lot better if you're on 4th Street, which is the street I used to walk down to get to the library. That part wasn't too bad. But this is more secluded, it's dirtier, and there's a lot of bad elements around there. So, I have no interest in going back down to that building again if I can avoid it. Well, she said, I'm not sure, Dana. Sarah may just want to stay with her nephew, but we will figure it out if you want to meet up. Um, yeah, let me talk to Steve about it. And that's okay. I mean, I can understand Sarah wanting to stay with her nephew, but um, I guess we could hang out with you, right? if you want to do that. But yeah, let me ask him and see what he says about it. I kind of hope, because I'm starting to get kind of house burnt, and I'd like to do something. So maybe we could meet for lunch or something like that. I don't know what's in Georgetown, where in Georgetown to eat at or anything. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, I'll get back with you. Um, I'm probably going to be getting off here in a few more minutes, about 3 more minutes. But if anybody has anything else they want to bring up before I get off here, I'll be glad to take your questions, comments, or whatever. Oh, and I'll ask again, does anybody have any ideas for designs for t-shirts and mugs and stuff like that that you would like to see me offer? I'll be happy to try to comply for you. Like I said, I believe Texas has given me several design options. Texas actually wasn't in here tonight. But yeah, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then I'm probably going to skedaddle on out of here to get some rest. Uh, yeah, I'm always excited for, I know I laugh, but I'm always excited, Dirk, for Eurocult Sunday. Um, I'm actually, I'm actually looking forward to talking about what is it? The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward? Is that what the one we're talking about? Um, so you guys are all you're gonna run out of some Edward Fennick movies, guys, because y'all keep picking all the Edward Fennick movies. Nah, I'm just kidding. Um, but I'm also looking forward to. I think my turn is coming up for a pick, so I'm excited about that. I kind of gave Steve two options, and he picked I guess the less cringy of the two. Oh man, because I said I could do this one or I could do that one, but I'll surprise you and Darren. I won't give it away here. Yeah, Sergio Martino. You have a good night, TJ. Yeah, I guess unless I come up with something beforehand, I guess my next stream will be the October Blood Watch Along at 7 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday, right after Steve's done. So, like I said, you can watch Steve, and then you can scoot on over to my channel and enjoy the October Blood Watch Along. Ooh. Steve keeps telling me, I am going to get ready to get off here. Steve keeps telling me, because I I told him how many watch hours that were currently on my channel, and so I've got half of the watch hours needed, or about half. But I still have to get probably probably a little less than 700 subscribers to be able to monetize my channel, and that's not my ultimate goal or anything. Is to be monetized. But Steve says, you need to check and see if you can get monetized. He said, you've had a lot of views on that werewolf video. I said, yeah, I don't know why, but I have. It's been like 26,000 views. John, you say, later all, have a good one. I vote for blood donor mugs. Well, I can put that one on my agenda, John. Thank you for the suggestion. So anyway, Steve was telling me that I should remind people to like and subscribe or whatever. And I said, yeah, but I just don't know if I need or should do that, because I'm not nearly as popular as these people that want you to like and subscribe. So I just don't. They're not seeming like they're begging, these people that say, hey, subscribe to my channel. I mean, I want people to subscribe. I want more people to watch what I'm doing. That makes it all worthwhile. You don't want to be streaming to 0 people or anything like that. But I feel like because I'm not that popular, that it would seem like I'm begging for subscribers, and I really don't want to seem like that. But I will put blood diner mugs in the wheelhouse, John. Thank you for the suggestion. You're welcome, Jason. I said, night, everybody. Sorry I was so quiet, but I've been smoking some beef briskets for tomorrow. Ooh, beef briskets. That sounds good, actually. Durkee say, Frankenhooker, Reanimator, Basket Case, Phantasm, the Prowler, the Burning. So would you like T-shirts, mugs, or both with that, Dirk? Because I could do any and all, I guess. Dirk's really Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, Clockwork Orange. Oh yeah, you're hitting all the big ones, Dirk. You guys are going to get me busted. Some of these things, like Silence of the Lambs, Psycho, maybe. I might get me a cease and desist. Just throwing ideas. Well, they are all very good ideas, and I'm wanting to come up with some deep red designs, some Suspiria designs, stuff like that too. Just, to add to the Jallo collection or whatever. But thank you so much, Dirk, for the ideas. Thank you, John, for your ideas. But with that being said, it's a little bit later than I said. New York Ripper, yes, that would definitely be good. I told Steve we'd even do his, what is it, the Edwidge Fennick and Barbara Boucher shirt or whatever. We could put that on the Etsy shop if he wanted me to go ahead and put the design on a transfer and put it on some shirts. But I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle on out of here for the night. Again, thank you guys for joining me for Cheese Extreme Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday if you can come by for the watch along for Rocktober Blood. And who knows? I may come up with something in the in-between times for you guys. So thank you guys once again for hanging out with me for almost a couple hours. I do appreciate it, because I sure as heck wouldn't want to be talking to myself. You take care too, Dirk. If I don't see you before, I will see you during the Girl Cult show. But I hope I see you before then. But anyway, I will see everyone on the flip side. And y'all all have a good night, guys.